When I was just an infant and Deanna was just 3.5 years old, we were found all alone in a cardboard box in a swamp. We had been abused and neglected by our birth parents and then were placed in foster care.
Children's Rights took our case on, and thanks to them, we are happy, well cared for, and have a wonderful, loving family.
I'm Sarah Russo. I'm a staff attorney at Children's Rights, and I fight every day to ensure that foster children in this country are safe, in stable and loving homes, and have happy endings like Deanna and Alyssa.
I'm Viola Miller. As Commissioner for the Department of Children's Services in Tennessee, I work directly with Children's Rights to overhaul our foster care system. We decreased the number of kids in institutional placements, and we increased adoptions, strides that would not have been possible without children's rights advocacy.
I'm Trayshawn Parrish. You might know my story. My brothers and I were nearly starved to death in our New Jersey home. When officials finally found me at the age of 14, I only weighed 38 pounds. Children's Rights changed the children's welfare system that failed us.
I'm Swiss Beats, music producer, father to amazing children, and I support children's rights because they do the right things and make success stories, what we see on this stage right here. And we must keep supporting children's rights, especially for the kids that's in foster care. Let's keep children's rights alive. Thank you.
I'm Latasha C. Watts. I aged out of foster care at the age of 18. By the age of 23, I experienced homelessness, I became a single mother, and I battled cancer. Due to the lack of resources, I really had to struggle. But now I'm an advocate for foster youth all over to age out of foster care successfully.
My name is Danielle Glito, and I am the very proud founder of One Simple Wish, which provides children in foster care with the items that they need and love. As a foster and adoptive mom that has dealt with the child welfare system, I know that children's rights is a very powerful force that holds systems accountable.
Hello, my name is Jeanette Miller, and I also, was in foster care. I also had my son in foster care. If it wasn't for children's rights, we wouldn't have no life today. Thank you.
My name is Joshua Miller, and for 4 long years, I was abused and mistreated. But I do have a confession. I was a occasional bedwetter, so you can understand, but without children's rights, I wouldn't have been with my mother and got the 10 years that I did with her.
My name is Dylan McIntosh, and I'm one of the thousands of former foster youth who would have benefited from better foster care. Imagine this. You're 5 years old. You're lying flat on your stomach at the top of the stairs, listening to your social worker tell your foster mother that you have to go to a new home. This always scares you and makes you wish you were a normal kid. Most of what happens doesn't faze you, but what does matter is that you're going to have to meet a new family. That's always the hardest part, adjusting to their standards and their norms. You hear the creak of the stairs as your social worker comes to break the news to you. She's always been kind. She'd always say something like, "We're going on a trip. You're going to meet a new family. They're going to love you. Get your things together, sweetie." Children aren't supposed to feel this way. They're not supposed to wonder where they'll be in a day, a week, a month, or even a year. You put everything you own in a black trash bag. What lies ahead, you have no way of knowing. You just have to brace for it and hope for the best. That was me. A moment in my life that I chronicled for Children's Rights. One of thousands of moments in my life while in foster care that I felt lost and alone. At the age of 3 years old, I was removed from my biological parents' home. They were abusive. They didn't feed me. They beat me daily. And I went to foster care. And you'd think that I would be well taken care of, right? Well, in the first 2 homes, I was mistreated. In the second home, I was with my own uncle. And they locked me in the basement. They treated me like an animal, or like an unwelcome burden. But I have to say that the worst injustice occurred when I was 7 years old. I was in a wonderful foster home. And I was up for adoption, and there was a wonderful family interested in me. But the rug was pulled out from under me. A judge decided that reunifying me with my family was the best idea. And for 6 more years, I was with my real family, and it was 6 more years of hell. It was abuse, it was not eating, it was being told you're worthless. You have nothing, you have no stake in this world. And in total, I went back at the age of 13, and in my life I've had 23 different places. And most were bad. One of them was with an elderly couple. One was blind and one had Parkinson's. And it was more of me taking care of them. I was 14. And I should have been with a family that was taking care of me. I shouldn't have had to do that. And at the age of 15, I tried to kill myself twice because I thought that there was nothing for me in this world. I thought I was worthless. I was nothing. And I knew I didn't want to die. So I called my caseworker, and she had to force my foster mother to take me to the hospital. And along the way, my foster mother, she stopped for a sandwich while I was dying. And it wasn't right. But I have to say that not all foster families are bad. I was fortunate with 3 great ones. And they're the reason that today I'm in college. I have a full-time job, and I want to become an advocacy lawyer. I want to help people. I want to help the kids that had to go through what I did. And maybe they wouldn't have to this time. The foster care system should focus on finding good foster parents, the ones that change lives for the better. But even with those positive experiences, I'm still plagued by foster care today. I'm anxious, I'm stressed, I'm depressed. And they left me with no resources, with nothing. I turned 18 and they said, "You're done." I said, "We don't need you anymore." And just this past summer, I had to move back with my parents. I had to move back with my biological parents. And even though I was stronger, I was more capable. The words hurt. And I just want to say that foster care is broken. Foster homes aren't vetted carefully. And children are often stuck in limbo, not knowing where they're going to go, not knowing what's going to happen. And so many horrors happen that go unnoticed, as we've heard tonight. But Children's Rights is here to make sure that those horrors don't happen, and they go noticed. And tonight I stand with everyone here on the stage, with Children's Rights, because I strive to reform the system that failed me and is continually failing people, children, who can't defend themselves, they can't make any choices. And I just want to say thank you for listening, and thank you for joining the fight.